Hi everyone. In today's class, we are going to discuss about hierarchical clustering. So here we are having, there are two basic approaches are there under hierarchical clustering. First one is agglomerative. What is the first one? First one is agglomerative clustering. Second one is divisive clustering. Okay, we are in hierarchical clustering. There are two basic approaches are there in hierarchical clustering. First one is agglomerative hierarchical clustering. Second one is divisive hierarchical clustering. Let us discuss one by one. What is agglomerative or agglomerative hierarchical clustering here? So this agglomerative clustering starts with the point as individual clusters. Okay, this kind of clustering starts with the points of individual cluster and at each step merge the closest pair of clusters. This requires the defining a notation of cluster proximity. Okay, this is the process of agglomerative clustering. Actually, what we are doing in this concept hierarchical clustering, in this hierarchical clustering, we are going to make the clusters. We are going to make the clusters in hierarchical representation or hierarchical form. Okay, so the given data points are grouped into the cluster like hierarchical fashion. Okay, that is our concept now. Okay, so in hierarchical clustering, one of the technique is agglomerative. In agglomerative technique, what we are doing here, first of all, okay, take the individual clusters. What we have to do, take the individual clusters and at each step merge those individual clusters. Merge which clusters are near one with another, those clusters you need to combine with one another. That is called merging. Okay, and for this merging we are going to use one notation called cluster proximity. Okay, one notation or one kind of measurement. That measurement is called what, cluster proximity, for finding the similarity between the two clusters, and after that we are going to merge those two clusters, isn't it? This is the agglomerative process. And if you see this agglomerative hierarchical clustering in step by step, so what it is, it has, what is the first one? In agglomerative hierarchical clustering, data objects are grouped in a bottom up fashion. So how the clusters are formed in agglomerative hierarchical clustering? Okay, the groups or the clusters are formed in a bottom up approach. From bottom to top, we are going to merge the clusters in stepwise or in level wise. Initially, each data object in its own cluster. Initially, each and every object is a one cluster. That particular right? Initially, each data object in its own cluster is in its own cluster, which means initially a single data object may called one cluster. This is also called as exclusive clusters. In exclusive clusters also, okay, we can form individual object as a one group or one cluster here. In starting stage, Here we would consider as the individual objects as a single cluster. In level wise, we are going to combine or we are going to merge those individual clusters, okay, in stepwise from bottom to top, right? Then the AHC OHC merges these atomic clusters into larger and larger clusters until all of the objects are in single cluster until a certain termination condition are satisfied. What is the termination condition of this agglomerative clustering? Until you will get all the data points under a single cluster, you need to merge the data points of the all the clusters. This is the termination condition of agglomerative clustering. What it is? Okay, at the final outcome is of this clustering is a single cluster. By merging the all the data points within a data set level wise, finally you will get only single cluster as outcome. This is the termination condition for agglomerative hierarchical clustering. Okay, right. Next one is a divisive clustering. What is divisive clustering? It is the opposite to a agglomerative clustering, which means the agglomerative clustering is is started from bottom itself. Okay, it's a bottom to top approach, isn't it? But divisive technique is a top to bottom technique. That is one of the point. And second point is it is going to divide the data points into the number of clusters, okay. Suppose if it is a data points, these data points are divided into two groups in level 1 and next another groups into level 2. Like this, it is going to divide the data points of a cluster until unless to get the termination condition, to reach the termination condition of this divisive hierarchical clustering. What is the termination condition of this divisive hierarchical clustering? Is all the individual data points are okay, individual data points are becoming a leaf nodes. Okay, one individual data point is a one cluster. Those are become a leaf nodes in this hierarchy until unless we are going to divide the data points of the cluster. This method is called a divisive technique. Okay, what it is in this the data objects are grouped into top down manner, and initially all objects are in one cluster. Then the cluster is subdivided into small and smaller pieces until each object forms a cluster on its own, until it satisfies a certain termination condition as the desired number of cluster is obtained. What is the termination condition of this divisive hierarchical clustering? Okay, you can make individual object as a single cluster. Okay, it's a top to bottom approach. And see, starts with one cluster and all inclusive clusters, and at each step split a cluster until only singleton clusters of individual points remain. In this case, we need to decide which cluster to split at each step and how to do the splitting. Here also we are following agglomerative clustering measurement. That measurement is called what? Proximity measurement. The same measurement technique we may apply at this divisive technique also. First of all, we would see the examples for agglomerative clustering and divisive clustering. Then we'll go for proximity measures. Finally, we'll discuss the algorithm of agglomerative hierarchy clustering, right? Okay, this is the example. This is the example for agglomerative and divisive hierarchical clustering. See this example. What is the agglomerative clustering? This agglomerative clustering is a bottom-up approach. Is it clear? The first point is in starting in agglomerative technique, starting all the data points are in the form of single clusters. These single clusters are also called as exclusive clusters. Okay, P data point is one cluster, Q data point is another cluster, R, S, T. These are all individual clusters with a single data point, isn't it? Okay, so agglomerative, this is the input of agglomerative hierarchical clustering. What is the output of agglomerative clustering? Automatically, by merging these clusters, by adding these clusters or by merging these clusters, we may get the single cluster. The single cluster. This is the outcome of a agglomerative hierarchical clustering. So P and Q are similar features. So then we would combine these two into one cluster. And here also S and T has similar features. So S and T are combined into this cluster. After that, R is near to S and T group. So automatically we can join this R in this cluster. So finally, these all the data points are grouped into a single cluster. So when we are going to start terminate from this agglomerative hierarchical clustering, whenever we would get the outcome as a single cluster. This is the termination condition of agglomerative. By merging the individual cluster data points into a single cluster. Right. Coming to the next one is the what it is divisive. Divisive technique is completely opposite to a agglomerative technique. It is a top down approach. It is a top down approach, and first of all, the input of divisive hierarchical clustering is a single cluster. The total data points are okay. The total data points are supplied to this divisive technique. So this is a single cluster. This is the input of the divisive hierarchy clustering. After that, here we are going to divide the data points into the groups based on their similarities. Okay, based on their dissimilarities, not the similar dissimilarities. And after that, again, the P and Q also divided into two groups. Here, the R, S, T divided into two groups. Finally, S, T divided into two groups. What is the termination condition of this divisive hierarchical clustering? The termination condition is the each and every data point, each and every data object, okay, should form as a single cluster. Okay, that is the divisive technique termination condition. It takes the input as a single cluster and it would produce the n number of clusters based on the total data objects, n number of clusters based on the total data objects within that cluster. Right? It can divide the data points in a hierarchical fashion. These are the two important hierarchical clustering techniques. Hierarchical clustering, right? Next, here we are going to discuss about more two words. Those are one is dendrogram, second one is nested clustering. What is dendrogram here? Okay, a hierarchical clustering is often displayed graphically using a tree-like diagram is called a dendrogram. What is dendrogram? Dendrogram here, it is in hierarchical clustering. Okay, hierarchical clustering is displayed graphically using a tree-like diagram. Hierarchical clustering is displayed graphically graphically using a tree-like diagram is called dendrograms, which displays the both cluster and subcluster relationship and the order in which the clusters were merged or split. Okay, in which order we have merged these clusters and which order we have split these clusters, it would show clearly. The dendrogram would show, okay, the splitting condition, the splitting criteria as well as the merging criteria of the clusters in level wise, step wise. This is one kind of graphical representation of a hierarchical clustering. Okay, like a tree diagram. Tree diagram is called a dendrogram here. Dendrogram here. Right. And coming to the second one is nested cluster. Hierarchical clustering can also be graphically represented using a nested cluster diagram. Nested cluster diagram in the sense, see, this is the nested cluster diagram example. What it is here in this dendrogram, P and Q are combined first, combined into a single cluster, right? So here P2 and P3 are combined as a single cluster. After combined P2, P3, here we have merged this cluster into a P4. So this in cluster into a P4. After this, here we have merged these cluster, the P2, P3, P4 cluster into a P1, right? So this is the P1. If you represent the hierarchical clustering in this fashion, it is called a nested cluster diagram. There are two representations are there. Okay. Next. Now, the next one is defining proximity between the clusters. What is this proximity? Okay. Now we are performing two kinds of things. One is by merging of a individual cluster. One task is merging of individual cluster. Second task is splitting of the cluster into a multiple number of clusters. These two tasks are performed in hierarchical clustering. Under one is agglomerative clustering and second one is divisive clustering. Under agglomerative, here we are merging the clusters, and in divisive technique we are splitting the clusters, isn't it? So how we have performed such kind of merging techniques and such kind of splitting techniques? How do we find which clusters are similar to one with another? Okay, how do we find the clusters, or one cluster is similar to another one? How do we merge one cluster with another cluster? What is the parameter here we have used? That is a proximity measure. The proximity measure, it is used to find out the distance between the two clusters, which means distance in the sense the similarity, how much for one cluster is, okay, how much for with the another cluster. We would know by using this proximity between proximity measure within the cluster. Okay, proximity measure is one kind of measure. It is used to find out the similarity of or dissimilarity between the clusters. Similarity for merging, dissimilarity for splitting. Similarity and dissimilarity measures are calculated by using these proximity measures in between the cluster here. Right, based on these measurements only, here we can apply merging techniques. Right, in previous example, what we have do. Okay, here P2 is merged with P2 is merged first P2 out of four data points, P1, P2, P3, 4, P4. Out of these data points, first of all, we would know which data points are near. which data points are having similar features. Okay, P2 and P3. P2 and P3 are having the similar features. How do we find? Based on the proximity measures. Okay, right. First of all, we would know the similarity between P2, P3, P2, P4, P2, P1, like that. After that, which distance is less, automatically we are going to combine those 2 points. We are going to combine those 2 points into a single cluster, right? Okay. So cluster proximity differentiates various above-Merito hierarchical clustering technique. Here we are using three kinds of measures are there. Three categories of measures are there under proximity measures. First one is minimum distance. Second one is maximum distance. Third one is average distance. Okay, the single minimum distance is also called as, okay, minimum proximity is also called as single link, and maximum proximity is also called as complete link, and the average proximity is also called as group average, right? How do we calculate the minimum proximity? The minimum proximity means, suppose if you have two clusters, cluster 1 and cluster 2. Okay, you should select the points. Okay, which point is near to this cluster, second cluster? Okay, here in cluster 1 we have 3 points, 3 data points, 1 2 3 data points are there. Out of these 3 data points, which data point is near to a cluster 2? You need to identify that one. As well as in cluster 2 also same. In cluster 2, which data point is near to cluster 1? You need to identify. Okay, then you need to calculate the distance between these two data points. That is called a minimum proximity or single link. The minimum distances in between two clusters with the nearby data points with another cluster. Okay, so here we are having some definition also. The smallest distance between an element in one cluster, the smallest distance between an element in one cluster and an element in the other cluster. Here we find the smallest between these two clusters with one element and another element. That is represented by using the distance D is Ci comma Cj. Ci ante, which means Ci is first cluster 1, Cj is second cluster. That equal to minimum of D of x comma y. X is one data point in cluster 1 and y is another data point in cluster 2. The distance of x comma y, x belongs to Ci and y belongs to Cj. Y belongs to Cj and x belongs to Ci, which means C1, C1, C2. C1, C2 and x belongs to this data point cluster and y belongs to this data point, this cluster. And here we are going to find out the minimum distance between x data point and y data points, which are belongs to cluster 1 and cluster 2. Okay, this is the calculation of minimum proximity in between two clusters. And coming to the next one, what is the second one? Second one is a maximum proximity. Automatically opposite to this minimum one, which means it is a calculation of distance between the, okay, largest distance between the two clusters. Largest distance between one element in one cluster and another element in another cluster is called, okay, max proximity. Here previously we have used a minimum function, now we have used maximum function between x and y. Assume this is x and this is y. These are the last data points. X is a last data point in cluster 1, y is a last data point in cluster 2, right? So here we are calculating maximum distance between these two clusters. So it's a What is the formula? Max of distance between x comma y. X belongs to Ci and y belongs to Cz. Okay. And finally, here we are going to calculate the last one. What is the last one? Group average. Group average distance between the elements in one cluster and the elements in another cluster. All the elements here, 3 data points are there now. So for each and every data point must be calculated the distance between every another data point within another cluster. Okay, so 3 into 3, how many connections is there here? Literally 9 connections, isn't it? So by calculating the distance between each and every point with other point, average distance between all the point, here we would know about this, then that is called group average proximity. Okay, these are the proximities. By calculating these distances, here we are going to merge the clusters, or sometimes we must split the clusters. If the distance is maximum means, then we would split those clusters, right? If the distance is minimum, then we are going for a merging concept. Now we are going to discuss about the algorithm of agglomerative hierarchical clustering. What it is? It is an algorithm of agglomerating clustering. What is step 1? Step 1 is compute the proximity matrix if necessary. What we need to do here? You need to compute the proximity matrix, means the distance between the x and y in C1 and C2. Right. Like that, you need to compute the proximity matrix. And in step 2, you can repeat the below steps. What are those? Merge the closest to 2 clusters. It is for merging, which means agglomerative hierarchical clustering. Now we are going to discuss about algorithm for agglomerative. It's not for divisive. In agglomerative, here what we have to do, we can perform the merging concept, right? So first, what as the first step here, you can merge the closest two clusters, and then next update the matrix, proximity matrix, to reflect the proximity between the new cluster and the original cluster. In second step, you need to update the proximity between the new cluster and the original clusters. And you need to update the proximity matrix. If you have the values, you need to update the values of proximity matrix. And you need to repeat these steps until unless you only get one cluster remains. Okay, this is the algorithm for agglomerative algorithm. Just here you first of all make one proximity matrix. You need to get ready a proximity matrix, then you need to merge the closest to clusters step by step. Then you need to update the values in a matrix, right? This procedure is continued until unless you will get only one cluster. That is a stopping criteria condition of a agglomerative clustering, right? Okay. Next, we are going to discuss about time and space complexity of the agglomerative hierarchical clustering. Here, the total space complexity is represented by using big O of m square. Big O of m square. What is the m here? The m is a number of data points. If your data points are 5, how much space you needed? 5 square, isn't it? And coming to the time complexity, the time complexity would be represented by using big O of m square into log m. This is the time complexity of your hierarchical clustering, right? And coming to the next slide, the issues of hierarchical clustering. Here we have 3 issues are there. One is lack of global function, global objective function. Second one is ability to handle different cluster size. Last one is merging decisions are final. These are the three key issues of hierarchical clustering. Okay, let us learn one by one. What is the first one? Okay, lack of a global objective function. Okay, this agglomerative hierarchical clustering follows a local method, not a global method. Why? Because at a time, in each step, at a time, we can combine only two clusters. We can combine only two clusters, not the multiple number of clusters. Okay, we wouldn't reach the global objective function. Why? Because of this, by using this technique, we can merge only two clusters at a time. That is called a local method. Local method merges two clusters in each step locally. Okay, this approach yields to cluster algorithm that avoid the difficulty of attempting to solve a hard combinatorial optimization problem. If you merge at a time two clusters means, okay, it's one kind of best thing to avoid the complexities, the complex things of that particular data. At a time you can combine more than two clusters means, okay, in different places different clusters are going to grouped with one another means it may be difficult sometimes, it may be difficult to assess, identify or analyze. Okay, to overcome this, here we are performing only local method, so we can't reach the global objective function. That is one of the key issue. Coming to the second one is ability to handle different cluster size. Different cluster size. If apart from the size of a cluster, you need to combine with one cluster with another cluster. Okay, for example, one cluster here, one cluster may have, okay, only 3 data points. Some other cluster you may have only one data point, isn't it? So you need to combine these two clusters apart from the size of the cluster, isn't it? So the relative size of the pairs of the clusters to merge are often ignored. Okay, this is which size and this is which side. We won't be consider the sizes of the cluster sizes while combining the clusters, or otherwise it may have sometimes it may have, one cluster may have so multiple number of data points. One cluster may have multiple number of data points, right, like this, but another cluster may have only one data point. Then also you need to combine these two to get into a single cluster. That is a stopping criteria of our agglomerative hierarchy clustering, isn't it? So that's why, apart from the size, you need to combine one cluster with another cluster. So this is the ability to handle different cluster sizes. So how it is possible? You may treat equal, all clusters are of equal size or equal. Okay, you can assume the two clusters are of equal size. You can treat both are equally. Then you may combine one with another, right? That is a second issue. Coming to third issue, merging decisions are final. Merging decisions are final. Once a decision is made to merge two clusters, once a decision is made to merge two clusters, it cannot be undone at larger time. You must do. If you have chosen the clusters to merge, then you can perform that merging. Okay, no need to come back from that, isn't it? This approach prevents the local optimization criteria for becoming a global optimization criteria. Okay. Right, these are the different issues of hierarchical clustering. Coming to the last slide, here we are having some strengths and weaknesses. Okay, coming to the strengths and weaknesses of hierarchical clustering. Coming to the strength of hierarchical clustering, it produces better quality clusters. That is the one of the strength of the hierarchical clustering. What is the weaknesses? Weaknesses, it may take more computational time. More computational time. Each and every time you need to perform proximity measures in between the clusters, isn't it? So it would take more time. So that is one of the drawback of weakness of hierarchical agglomerative hierarchical clustering. Right. Next, all mergers are final can also cause noisy high dimensional data. So at the last, we may merge all the data points into a single cluster, isn't it? So it may cause for noise data, or it may be a high dimensional data. Okay, it would produce some noise, or it would produce it may combine the data points within a large distance between those. Such kind of problems also may arise in this agglomerative hierarchical clustering. These are the weaknesses. Okay, this is about hierarchical clustering techniques.